Script. Bianca Belair scandal. Explosive opening. The wrestling world has been shattered by news that nobody saw coming. Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, the woman who's been portrayed as the golden standard of professionalism and family values, has allegedly been caught in a compromising situation with none other than Jimmy Uso. And the fallout. Montez Ford, her husband and tag team partner of Angelo Dawkins in the Street Profits, is reportedly devastated beyond belief. But hold on to your seats because this story gets even more twisted than a ladder match stipulation. Sources close to the situation are saying this isn't just some backstage flirtation or innocent conversation that got blown out of proportion. We're talking about alleged evidence, witnesses, and a scandal that could potentially destroy not one, not two, but three of WWE's biggest careers simultaneously. The shocking allegations. Let me break down exactly what's being reported, and trust me, you're going to want to screenshot this because the dirt sheets are already trying to bury this story faster than The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Multiple backstage sources, and I'm talking about people with direct access to talent areas, catering, and even executive meetings, are claiming they witnessed Bianca Belair and Jimmy Uso in what can only be described as an extremely intimate conversation backstage at Monday Night Raw 3 weeks ago. But here's where it gets absolutely nuclear: this wasn't just talking. Witnesses are describing physical contact, prolonged eye contact, and body language that suggested something way beyond just friendship or professional courtesy. One source, who I cannot name for obvious legal reasons, told me that what they saw was completely inappropriate for two married individuals, and that it looked like they were trying to find somewhere private. The timing of these allegations is absolutely devastating because this allegedly happened during the same night that Montez Ford was dealing with a legitimate injury scare. While Ford was getting medical attention for what appeared to be a knee issue that kept him out of action for 2 weeks, his wife was supposedly getting cozy with one half of the bloodline. Montez Ford's heartbreaking response. Sources close to Montez Ford are painting a picture of a man completely blindsided and emotionally destroyed. Ford, who has always been one of the most positive and energetic personalities in WWE, has reportedly been a shell of his former self, according to people who've interacted with him recently. One wrestler, speaking on condition of anonymity, said Ford looked like someone had ripped his heart out and stomped on it during a recent backstage encounter. The most heartbreaking detail: Ford allegedly found out about the rumors the same way many of us did, through wrestling gossip and backstage whispers. Imagine being injured, vulnerable, and then hearing that your wife, the woman you've supported through her entire WWE journey, might be involved with another man. And not just any man, but Jimmy Uso, someone who's part of wrestling's most powerful family dynasty. Ford has reportedly been questioning everything: their marriage, their public image as a power couple, and even his own worth within the company. Friends say he's been asking if this is why Bianca has seemed distant lately, if this explains certain changes in their dynamic that he had attributed to work stress. The Jimmy Uso connection. Now let's talk about Jimmy Uso's role in this alleged scandal, because his involvement makes this situation 10 times more complicated and controversial. Jimmy, who's married to Naomi and has been part of one of WWE's most beloved real-life couples, apparently has his own marriage troubles that nobody's been talking about publicly. Insiders are claiming that Jimmy and Naomi have been having serious issues for months, with some sources suggesting they've been living separately since early this year. If true, this would explain why Jimmy might be seeking attention elsewhere, but it absolutely doesn't excuse potentially pursuing a married woman, especially someone married to a colleague. The bloodline connection makes this even more explosive. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and the entire Samoan wrestling dynasty are reportedly furious about these allegations because they threaten the carefully crafted image that's made them WWE's most dominant faction. Sources say there have been heated discussions backstage about how to handle the situation, with some family members wanting Jimmy to address the rumors head-on while others prefer to let it blow over quietly. But here's the kicker: Jimmy Uso has apparently not denied the allegations when confronted by family members. Instead, he's reportedly been defensive and evasive, which is only adding fuel to the fire and making everyone more suspicious about what really happened. Bianca's alleged behavior changes. Wrestling insiders have been analyzing Bianca Belair's recent behavior and finding concerning patterns that seem to support these shocking allegations. Over the past 2 months, multiple sources have noted significant changes in how Bianca carries herself backstage and interacts with other talent. First, there's the timing issue. Bianca has been arriving at venues separately from Montez Ford more frequently, claiming scheduling conflicts or different travel arrangements. While this might seem innocent on the surface, veteran wrestlers know that couples in the business typically coordinate their schedules to spend time together, especially given how demanding the travel schedule can be. Second, her interaction patterns have shifted dramatically. Bianca used to be known for being openly affectionate with Ford during backstage segments and public appearances. Recent footage analysis shows a marked decrease in physical affection, eye contact, and the general chemistry that made them such a beloved couple among fans. Most damning of all, multiple sources report seeing Bianca actively seeking out Jimmy Uso during shows, engaging in lengthy conversations that seemed far too intimate for casual colleagues. One catering worker reported overhearing Bianca tell Jimmy that she needed to talk to him privately about something important during a recent SmackDown taping. The evidence that's circulating. Now, I have to be extremely careful about what I share here because of legal implications, but there are allegedly photos and videos circulating among WWE personnel that show Bianca and Jimmy in compromising situations. I cannot and will not share these materials, but sources who have seen them describe them as career-ending and absolutely inappropriate. One particularly damaging piece of alleged evidence supposedly shows Bianca and Jimmy leaving the same hotel room during a recent tour stop. The timestamp allegedly shows them exiting within minutes of each other, which would be difficult to explain as coincidence. Another piece of alleged evidence involves text message screenshots that show intimate conversations between the two, though the authenticity of these cannot be verified. What makes this evidence particularly problematic is that it's reportedly being shared through private wrestling industry WhatsApp groups and social media circles. This means that even if WWE wanted to contain the situation, it may already be too late because too many people have seen the alleged proof. The most explosive claim is that someone within WWE's own production team has recordings of conversations between Bianca and Jimmy that leave little doubt about the nature of their relationship. If true, this would mean WWE management is fully aware of the situation and is actively deciding how to handle it. Backstage politics and power plays. The political implications of this scandal within WWE are absolutely staggering and could reshape the entire landscape of the company's top-tier talent. Bianca Belair isn't just any wrestler, she's been positioned as one of WWE's 4 horsewomen of the current era, a role model for young fans, and a cornerstone of the women's division. Her involvement in this scandal threatens storylines, merchandise deals, and the company's carefully crafted public image. Jimmy Uso's position within the bloodline makes this even more complicated from a business perspective. The bloodline has been WWE's most successful storyline in recent years, generating massive ratings, merchandise sales, and social media engagement. Any disruption to the group's dynamic could cost WWE millions of dollars in revenue and force them to completely restructure their long-term booking plans. Sources within WWE's creative team are reportedly scrambling to develop contingency plans for multiple scenarios. If the allegations prove true and become public knowledge, they may need to separate Bianca from Montez Ford onscreen, potentially breaking up the Street Profits or moving one of them to a different brand. They might also need to address Jimmy Uso's status within the bloodline, possibly writing him out of storylines temporarily or permanently. The most concerning aspect from a business standpoint is how this affects WWE's partnerships with sponsors and media companies. Bianca Belair has been featured prominently in mainstream media appearances, charity events, and corporate partnerships. A scandal of this magnitude could force WWE to pull her from these commitments, resulting in significant financial losses and damaged relationships with key partners. The Naomi factor. Naomi's position in this scandal is perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of the entire situation. Like Montez Ford, she's reportedly been blindsided by these allegations about her husband's potential infidelity. Sources close to Naomi describe her as devastated and questioning everything about her marriage and career. What makes Naomi's situation particularly tragic is that she's had to deal with this while maintaining her professional obligations and public appearances. Imagine having to perform in front of thousands of fans while internally wondering if your marriage is falling apart and if your husband is involved with one of your colleagues. Naomi has reportedly been seeking support from other wrestlers' wives and female talent, trying to navigate a situation that she never expected to face. The wrestling business is notoriously difficult on marriages due to travel schedules, physical demands, and the constant presence of attractive colleagues, but Naomi and Jimmy were considered one of the more stable couples in the industry. The professional implications for Naomi are significant as well. If these allegations prove true and lead to a divorce, it could affect her standing within WWE and her relationship with the USO family, who have been instrumental in her career development and positioning within the company. Industry reactions and whispers. The wrestling industry's reaction to these allegations has been swift and divided, with different factions of wrestlers, management, and industry insiders taking various sides and positions on the scandal. Veteran wrestlers who have seen similar scandals over the decades are reportedly advising caution and suggesting that everyone involved should address the situation privately before it explodes into a public relations nightmare. Younger talent are reportedly shocked by the allegations, particularly those who looked up to Bianca and Montez as relationship goals and professional role models. Several wrestlers have privately expressed disappointment and concern about how this situation might affect the entire roster's reputation and WWE's public image. Management figures within WWE are reportedly split on how to handle the situation. Some believe in addressing it head-on and potentially releasing statements or taking disciplinary action if the allegations prove true. Others prefer a wait-and-see approach, hoping the controversy will fade away without major public attention. Independent wrestling promoters and other companies are reportedly watching this situation closely, as it could affect talent availability and create opportunities to sign high-profile wrestlers if WWE decides to release anyone involved in the scandal. The social media clues. Social media analysis has revealed several concerning patterns that seem to support the allegations against Bianca Belair and Jimmy Uso. Over the past 3 months, both wrestlers have significantly reduced their social media interactions with their respective spouses while increasing their engagement with each other's posts. Bianca's Instagram stories, which used to frequently feature Montez Ford and their life together, have become noticeably focused on her individual career achievements and workout routines. Meanwhile, her likes and comments on Jimmy Uso's posts have increased dramatically, often featuring fire emojis, heart eye emojis, and comments that seem flirtatious rather than friendly. Jimmy Uso's social media behavior